Black metal music theory number 4. Today we're going to talk about triads. Now, what's a triad? A triad is just simply a 3-note chord, and there are many shapes for triads. So here's the triad shape that I like the most. Just a normal minor triad shape, root, third, fifth. So what is a triad? A triad is just a 3-note chord. That's it. A chord that has 3 notes. So let's make things really simple. This is an A minor triad. It contains the notes A, C, and E. So how do we play? 5th fret on low E, 3rd fret on A, 2nd fret on D. Now this chord shape can be moved around in this exact same shape across all of the frets and all of the strings up until the G string. A here, if you move it 3 frets up. C minor, if you move it down a string and to the left, you get E minor. So A minor here, C minor, and E minor. So you can already get some kind of cool and evil sounds from it. So how do you make a minor triad? It's very simple. All you need is a root note, minor third, and perfect fifth. So let's go back to this A chord, the A minor. Our little finger is playing the A note, which is the root. Our middle finger is playing the minor third, which is the C. And our first finger is playing the 2nd fret on D, which is the E note, the perfect fifth of our chord. So that's the intervallic structure of a minor chord. A root note, a minor third, and a perfect fifth. Now, a major triad. How do we do that? Very simple. We change the minor third to a major third. So all we do is take the C note and turn it into a C sharp. Now there are other ways we can play these chords, and they're called inversions. Now an inversion is when we change the order of the notes. So here we have A, C, and E. But what if we go C, E, and A? We can do that too. 8 on E, 7 and 7 on A and D. So it's the same chord but with just a slightly different voicing, giving it a very different texture and colour to the sound. And we could do another inversion with the notes E, A and G. Right here, so 12, 12 and 10. And again, that's just another A minor chord. So why is this cool? When you're writing at home or with other people, one guitar track could have one type of inversion or just the regular chords, and another guitar could have an inversion, giving a slightly different sound. So each guitar is a little bit more distinct. Now of course you can do this with your major triads. Here we have the notes A, C and E. Now we have C sharp, A and E. 9, 7, 7 on E, A and D. And then E, A, C sharp, 12, 12 and 11 on E, A and D again. Now all of these inversions can be played up until the G string. I've made a document which you can download in the description, which contains more inversions across other strings. Right now I'm going to be teaching you one more triad, which is the C diminished triad. Now how do we make a diminished triad? What we do, we start off with a C minor. So we have our root note C, our minor third, which is an E flat on the 6th fret of A, and then our perfect fifth, which is a G note on the 5th fret of D. So there's our C minor. Now to make it diminished, all we need to do is flatten this G note here, turn it into a G flat. So there we've learned another triad, C diminished. Now the next chord I'm going to play is an E minor inversion. C diminished, E minor. Very cool chord progression. Now if you're wondering why it's familiar, it's Hellfire by 1349. It's those 2 chords. So we can take a diminished chord, so here's an E diminished, and we can move this chord progression all across the neck. E diminished, A flat minor. We get these kind of cool, evil, black metal-y sounds. Now of course, we can just take our minor chords and move them up and down the neck. Nice and simple. Or we can use chords in the scale to come up with chord progression. So here's an E minor. Then we can move down to a D major. And then we can move up to a G major. And then play C. And we can do a similar thing with inversions as well. So let's take this chord progression, E minor, C major, G major, then D major. Now this is a more piano-like voicing because we're using close chords, and that's why we're using intervals, so the chord changes are smoother. So E minor, 7-5-4 on A, D, G, C major, 7-5-5, G major, same strings, 5-5-4, then D major here. It's got a very Lord of the Rings type of sound to these chords. And of course you can just make chord progressions from inversions. So we have F minor here, 3-3-1 on A, D and G. C minor, 3-3-1 on E, A and D. And then to E minor, same strings on 7-7-5. Now that's a Nightbringer chord progression. So that's a very, very basic use of triads, using general root, third, fifth chord shapes. But remember, a triad is just a 3-note chord. You can be very experimental with your writing and your creativity. Because for example, you can just have like a C triad here. But maybe you want to add the open strings. And there, we've got lots more ideas that we can play with. So one thing I love to do is use triads and dyads with open strings. So here I have my C major triad here. It's an inversion, 3-3-2 on A, D and G, on E, D and A. Then I take off my first finger. So I get a sus4 kind of sound. And then I play this. E minor 9, open E, 2 and 4 on A and D. So here's my chords. Now the reason I'm able to do this is because I know my scales. I know that these notes are all in the E minor scale. G, C and E. G, C and D. E, B and F sharp. And I also know that G, B and high E are also in the scale, so I can strum every single string and have a really pleasant sound. And play the same chords. Last chord here. So what this is a C with a sharpened fifth and a low E in the bass, which kind of makes it like some major flat 5 chord. Then I add the open string and it sounds really cool. And of course you can use triads to create melodies. So we've got an E power chord here, 799 A D G. Then we could play the 9th chord here, move our little finger up 2 frets. Then play G major right here, 10, 9 and 12. Then we play a G major here, 10, 9 and 12 on the same strings. Then move it down to the major 7. All we do there is just move the note on the G string back from the 12th fret to the 11th fret. And again, we can take the same technique, E minor here, move the 5th up by 1 fret, got a C major inversion, and then we can move that note up even more, so we get the minor 7 sound. And we've got like this kind of movement going on in the chords, so we're adding some melody within our chords, and that's the really cool thing about triads. So it's quite important to learn your scales, so you can add the notes in the scale to your triads and make cool chord progressions. And of course I'd like to thank Donna yet again for sending me another lovely guitar, and this one truly is wonderful. This is the Donna DAG1CE, and the neck feels like an electric guitar, which is always great. It's comfortable to play as well, and I really do not like acoustic guitars. I've tried to avoid them for a long time, because ever since the acoustic black metal video, I ended up trapping a nerve in my shoulder, which didn't go away for a very long time. So this one is surprisingly comfortable. My arm is fine when I play this, which is a very big yes, because that's one of the reasons why I've been getting far away from acoustic guitars as possible, purely because it trapped a nerve in my shoulder. It messed me up for a long time. Considering the playability and the feel of this guitar is very nice, even the tone as well. Like I'll just show you on the camera mic. And these are the standard strings on here. And let's just talk about the tone. So we're just going to use the mic attachment I have on my camera. Like it's very bright. You can hear the strings very clearly. One of my favorite features about this guitar is the tuner on it, because it saves me plugging in or plugging into Logic and tuning up there. It's all inbuilt. It's something I wish electric guitars had more of as well. So big thank you to Donna for sending me this guitar and being able to use this guitar for the video. So if you are looking for an acoustic guitar, this is one I'd highly recommend. It's very reasonably priced. The quality is there. I've had nothing go wrong with this at all. Tuning stability has been great. You know, even having the standard Donna strings on here, I'm sure with a set of like D'Addarios on here, it would stay in tune and probably sound even better. So this is a really lovely acoustic guitar, and it's so affordable, and it just feels so nice to play. It really is nice to play. So yeah, enjoy the triads, experiment, and I'll see you guys on the next video.